Morning. Thanks for joining me again. I'm just on a little walk up Win Hill, just parked up in Hope after spending the night camping at Castleton. So I nearly didn't bother this morning. It was looking really horrible, raining and grim and low visibility, but I've stuck with it, and it's just, I'm not saying it's going to be a fine day, but it seems to be a little bit better than the weather forecast, so I'm persevering. So stick around and see what we find up there. Okay, so coming out of Hope, up the side road, you carry along until you see the signpost for Hope Cemetery, cut down that little road, follow it along till you go under the railway, then turn right and then left through a gate up to Twitchell Farm and follow the footpath up. Just to your left as you climb up, you can see views of Lewes Hill. Sun's trying to break through. It just shows you it rained solidly all night. It was battering down and peaked out this morning, and as I say, I almost gave it up as a bad job. So it just shows you really it's best to, well, sometimes best to persevere, and things can brighten up. Just getting up towards Twitchell's farm now. Just, stop for a breather and a look back over to Mam Tor. I was just camped at the foot of that last night in the van, and you just go through the farmyard at Twitchell Farm, and then you'll see a sign for the footpath leaving on the far side of the farmyard. Whew. Got a bit of a blow on after that last bit up from the farm. Look at the views that makes it all worthwhile. Superb. Lewes Hill in the foreground, and back Tor, and through up to Mam Tor on the left. Careful how you go when you get up to the gate at the top of the path up from Twitchell's farm. There is a path leading down to the left through the gate. There's also a path leading away down to the right. What we want to do is, there's one that's less defined and it takes a diagonal route to the left, and if you look up you can see the steel gate that it leaves the field as you climb up towards Win Hill itself. There's some beautiful trees up here, and they're just starting to get their autumnal colours as I film this in sort of early to mid-October. In a week's time they'll be in full autumn glory. Very lovely already though. After a steady climb up from Twitchell's farm, you enter up into access land, keep going, and then the peak of Win Hill comes into view, and somebody's thoughtfully built a nice little bench which I'm going to spend a few minutes on to get my breath back. And the bench commands a beautiful view of Hope Cement Works. A lot of people do moan about it, but people have got to earn a living, haven't they? So it's got to be somewhere. You can see the limestone quarry behind it, and that's why it's there. What are you lot looking at? You've never seen a knackered old man before? Do you know, I'm glad I stuck with it and made an effort today. Contrary to the weather forecast, it's turned out to be a beautiful day. and as this is recorded, a lot of talk about extended restrictions or even lockdown in parts of the country, including the northwest where I live, and who knows what we'll be able to do in the next few weeks and months. But anyway, I've got out for a camp, had 2 beautiful walks on consecutive days. I've got another camp with Maria planned this weekend up in Hayfield, even though we're not going to be doing anything too adventurous. Maria's birthday, so what she says goes. And yeah, but we'll be up there, so yeah, getting some nice quality time out in the countryside, and I do hope things turn better with the COVID situation, but it's far from guaranteed at the moment. Just getting up towards the summit now, and you seen one other person. Had a quick chat with him. He was also surprised about the weather. He warned me that just over on the other side of the ridge here, the wind is howling. Looks nice and gentle here, doesn't it? Let's crack on and see how it looks. Hill. It's definitely not as windy as yesterday because I can stand up, but look at that, beautiful views over Lady Bower, Black Hill. Sweeping right round over Kinder Scout. Fabulous. Just coming back round now to Mamtor. As I mentioned earlier, we parked at the bottom of that last night. And off in this direction you have the village of Bamford, and then above that Bamford Edge, and in the other direction out over Ian Moor or Ian Moor, depending on your preference, and down over Hope and on towards Castleton, although that's partially obscured by the rocks. I'll just find a sheltered spot and I'll give you a quick look over the map. And there's various routes down, but I'm not having a long walk today. Had a good old walk yesterday, so I'm just going to pick a different route down and follow that down after a bit of a breather. Okay, show you around the map. Right, started in Hope, near the church, turned right up the side road. Sorry, I can't remember what the name of the side road is, till you get to the sign for the cemetery to the right. Follow the road round, under the railway bridge, cut right, and then up the path to Twitchell Farm, through the farmhouse, through the farmyard, and then just steadily climb up on this path all the way up, and then up onto Windhill Summit here, where we are now. I'll say you could go back the same way, or you can extend the walk and go down via Lady Bower, but I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter. I'm going to take this path down here and down this way, and then cut right round back down to the hamlet of Aston, and I think we will follow the road around, then pick up this path down under the railway again and past Hope Station, or maybe, yeah, past Hope Station, and then follow the road back into Hope. I know there's a good footpath along that road because we've been down there many times. So I'm not sure overall mileage, it's not a huge walk, but I'll fill you in on that when we get back to the van. Path just cuts down a paved causeway on the other side of Win Hill. Starting to see a few more people coming up now. Coming down off Win Hill, you descend into what I think is called Win Hill Plantation, and we're just looking for a path on the right to take us back in the direction of Hope. And sure enough, at the bottom the path cuts to the right and follows along the wall back in the direction of Hope. And just to your left, lovely views across the village of Bamford and Bamford Edge. Follows the contour round for a little bit, and then see a little signpost for Aston, just cutting off to the right. So that's where we want to go. Probably won't be able to see them, just perching on top of the heather. There's 3 stone chats who were singing a minute ago. And the path comes round and starts to descend as Village of Hope comes back into view. It's a little bit early, but before we get down to civilization, might keep an eye out for somewhere to grab a bite to eat. And Lewes Hill and the Great Ridge along to Mamtor come into view again. Save those last views again, just in case we do get any further restrictions. It's been a brilliant walk today. I've enjoyed it so much. Didn't find anywhere to sit, but petrol station cheese and onion slice. Slightly squashed. Took some digging to find some cheese and onion in it. I think Tony Robinson would have struggled with the time team. But anyway, I've persevered, and there is a little bit at the bottom. It's not too bad. Right, fed and watered now. So I'm just heading off on the last leg, down over the fields. And the path just crosses a stile where I've just stopped to grab my lunch, and heads on in the direction of a farm that I'm assuming is at Aston. Oh heck, that is a big stile, Don't think Maria's little legs would like that one. So after crossing the fields, you go over a stile and a little path descends and comes out at a slightly larger track. I think we need to go right here. Okay, follow the little road down through Aston, and just as it starts to climb up, take the second public footpath sign that you see, which goes up a set of steps. And that path leads down behind a couple of big houses, and as you join the little road again, immediately to your left, take that footpath, and that heads down to the road. It's just outside Hope. Partway down the fields, you'll see a little footbridge to the left. Just ignore that and carry on, keeping the stream to your left, and yeah, continue straight down towards Hope. And you should see Hope Station coming into view just shortly after, ignoring that footbridge. So after the station, just turn right and take the little road down towards Hope, and that brings us to the end of our walk. Only about 5 miles by the time I get back to where I parked, but beautiful, and if you pick the right day, which luckily I seem to have done, you get stunning views all around from the top of Win Hill. It's for pretty much all abilities. It's a good steep climb going up there, but nothing difficult, just take your time. So yeah, fabulous, enjoyable walk, highly recommended. And yeah, thanks for joining me on it. So as usual, if you've enjoyed this, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, and I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe as well. I've got the numbers steadily building up, but the more the merrier, so I'd much appreciate that. All of those of you who have already subscribed, thanks very much, and thanks for all your comments as usual. And with that, I'll say goodbye and see you next time. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.